The highest underage drinking rate in New Zealand. The highest teenage pregnancy rate in New Zealand. And voted New Zealand's most boring town. 3 years in a row. Welcome to the hometown of Grant Baker. Welcome to Levin. Beautiful, isn't it? This is the magnificent Lake Horowhenua, situated in Levin's west. When Grant Baker was a lad, you'd often find he and his family down here, playing on the playground, enjoying a picnic, or cooling off in the lake itself. These days, the lake is practically deserted. Some say it's because families are too busy these days. Others that children would rather be inside playing video games. Personally, I think the lake lost a bit of its magic the day that the Levin City Council decided to pump the town's raw sewage into it. I guess we'll never know the truth. But I'll tell you something for nothing. It's still a pretty damn impressive part of the world from where I'm standing. Grant was a pretty typical kid growing up. He liked his rockets, he liked his trucks, and he liked his English teacher, Mrs. Gray. But there was also a very sweet and caring side to Grant as well. While a student here at St. Joseph's Primary School, he wrote many letters to missionaries in far-off places. This, to Sister Barbara in American Samoa, didn't quite make it. It reads, "Dear Sister Barbara, it is a beautiful day and our class budgie is chirping away. My name is Grant Baker. My hobbies are trucks and breakdancing. I have a brother called Mark who is 15 and a sister called Julie who is 14. I am 11 years old and I have brown hair, as you can see in my photo." The 8 years that Grant spent at St. Joseph's saw him grow from a shy boy into a confident adolescent. Quick-witted and very funny, Grant was a class clown. But more than that, he was a natural showman. Ironically, it was these same traits, combined with the difficulties of puberty, that saw Grant loathed by every teacher on the staff at Horowhenua College. He soon fell in with a bad crowd, and his favourite subjects quickly changed from reading, writing and arithmetic to fast cars, rock and roll and beer. In a desperate attempt to keep Grant on the straight and narrow, he was sent kicking and screaming to the Navy. He soon devised a subtle plan that would have him back at home in time for summer. Bustling seaside shops, golden sand, incredible surf and warm water. No, you're not going to find any of that mamby-pamby Bondi rubbish around here. Welcome to Waitariri Beach. Sure, we've got shops, but they're closed. We've got sand, but it's about as grey as the sky. We've got surf, but it's rubbish. And if you wanted to go swimming in that water, you need to wear a jersey and a pair of jeans. It's that cold. But there are a couple of things that Waitariri Beach offers that Bondi never could. The first, well, you can smoke as many of these little beauties as you want and nobody says a word. And the other, well, the other is what brought Grant and his mates down here every weekend for years. It was the one place they could combine their two greatest passions, drinking and driving.
Just a good old boy, never meaning no harm. Beats all you never saw, been in trouble with the law since the day they was born.
But while most young men would be content with such a hectic and fulfilling social life, Grant wasn't. No longer happy with just listening to music, Grant decided he wanted to make it. He decided he was going to be a singer in a rock and roll band. That band was filthy business. With Grant's style, showmanship, and phenomenal mullet, Filthy Business soon found themselves playing all Levin's big parties. Before long, they were one of the Lower North Island's top pub acts. With the release of the band's self-titled debut album, music critics soon discovered what fans had long known. Filthy Business were pretty good. The band's success meant Grant was living the life he'd always dreamed of, but after 5 years of being a rock and roll legend, the spotlight had taken its toll. Gradually, Grant's priorities began to change. He realised that he didn't want to wake up in 40 years with nothing to show for his life but a beer gut and some funny stories. He wanted and deserved more. But he also knew that to get what he wanted, it would mean leaving Levin. And surprisingly, that can be a very hard thing to do. In fact, most people who are born here will live here all their lives. Because Levin, for all its shortcomings and negative statistics, does have one saving grace. It's people. And Grant knew that in his search for something more, he would be leaving behind the most important things in his life. Over the years, his mates had become like brothers. And his mother, his sister, and his brother were like a family to him. In 1997, Grant Baker packed his bags and left New Zealand in search of a better life in Australia. And today, in front of family and friends from both countries, I reckon he's finally found it.